Hi, it's Mark, and I'm a big aviation geek. So much so, I always wanted to be a pilot, but I really can't be a pilot because the first time the plane would spin or go into some severe turbulence, I have a sinus inner ear thing that I'd probably die. But through my son, I made my son a pilot. One of the reasons I funded my son was that I was a frustrated pilot. So one of the things my son is, he's brought me on lots of planes, lots of interesting warbirds, other planes. He's he's got thousands of hours in warbirds and World War II planes. So I'm in Orlando, Florida, to go to Fantasy of Flight. It used to be a big theme park, but closed a few years ago, and now he just has a museum light. And we're going to go to the museum light today and look around. So this is it. This is he's got a runway, he has several buildings, but just this museum is open now. Cripes and Letty the Third. Beisler B1 Buzz Bomb. Ooh. Trying to get in frame. Nice little car. A Nardi 305. That's a pretty plane. I love the all aluminum planes. They're really hard to clean though. Okay, some of the Mustangs had the Ellison. I love that. P-51. Now, the engine that really used the Mustang was the Merlin engine. That's the Ellison. That was the original engine. They put a Merlin engine in. The Nazis couldn't keep up with it. I've flown in the Collins Foundation's old P-51 called the Betty Jane in Seattle once. I flew with my son as the pilot on July 4th, actually, a number of years ago. And he only put me slightly out when I went upside down. What is this? Needs restoration. Well, this is a Soviet plane. I don't know what that is. That's a Soviet plane. Poporov 116. This is a cute little plane. What is this? A Grumman F-34. (1936) single seat. He does fly occasionally because it's leaking oil. There wouldn't be oil in it if he didn't fly it occasionally. Candy Clipper. This is a Curtiss Aviation engine, and this is a Curtiss C6 flying boat. I've seen a lot of flying boats. I didn't. In fact, I was here years ago. There was a convention of flying boats that came here, and that was the last time I was here over 10 years ago with my son. Liberty V12. Ooh. I don't know if I'd want to go flying in a wooden airplane. Piece 47 Thunderbolt. City of Springfield, Massachusetts. GB2. Beautiful plane. Plane from that he used in the Rocketeer at the end that Yahoo News gave the Rocketeer. Another GB. Stalls 100 miles an hour. Miles an hour is not that slow exactly. On the third GB, GBY. Oh, he wrote a book based on this plane. 1931 GBY Sportster. Clearjet 9 rotary engine. This is an old one. 1911. Standard E1. 1918. Rotary engine. This looks like a B-24 Liberator, and it is. My son has probably the second most person in the world that has time flying one of these. There's only one real B-24. There's another one that someone's converted into a B-24 leg, but my son has literally flown the last flying B-24 over, I don't know, 1,000, 2,000 hours for the Collins Foundation when he was with the Wings of Freedom tour, which sadly, because of COVID and an incident, no longer exists. But I got to fly in their B-24 and actually be a bit in the guns. I've been all over the plane. I've probably done the B-24 maybe 15 times. Sometimes, most of the time with my son, sometimes not. And I've actually got to be a co-pilot once and spent some time actually controlling the plane on the co-pilot seat. Again, I love the aluminum B-24s. Another flying boat, Savoia Marchetti S-56. Well, this one really is more flying boat. It's open, one seat, maybe two, maybe a person, two people in front, maybe. But it's open cockpit, so I would think good weather plane, not a bad weather plane. Moraine A1, 1918. Not a biplane. I like the colors. An old caddy. These old cars are amazing. Big steering wheel. I love that the wings fold and refold. It's quite a thing to see when they do that. Another old car, an old Chevy. Another B-24. This is only the cockpit of a B-24. Again, I've ridden in the gunner seat and trained a real machine, well, not a fake machine gun. Oh, we get to go inside the B-24. Well, we get to go near the B-24. The one I was in had a slightly different arrangement. This is supposedly one of the hardest planes just to taxi down the runway, never mind fly. I know my son loved it because it was the biggest challenge. Now, I know in their plane that they flew, someone would have to pop out of the top of the plane with a headset on and instruct them about where they were going, because the pilot cannot see the runway. So that's why it's a problem taxiing, that someone would have to pop out, get up there, and be the eyes for the actual pilot. I miss flying in that plane. It was a good plane. He still flies Warbirds. I think he flew a Vietnam era Sky Raider last weekend at a Houston Air Show. And I know he flies B-25s and B-17s still for other people that own planes. Oh, B-29. B-29 is the type that, well, a lot of missions, is the type that the nuclear bombs were launched from. I've seen the actual planes. One's in the Air Force Museum at Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, and one is at the Smithsonian Institution, which I have a video coming out in a few weeks of me going to the Smithsonian Institution. Oh, the yellow plane. I think there's two, Doc, and I can't remember the other one. Fifi and Doc. the B-29s that are still flying, and you can go rides. They come to local area towns occasionally, and you can go for a ride. This yellow plane, pretty looking plane, 1929 Curtiss Robin. Miss Los Angeles. Looks like a racing plane. Yep, 1934 air races made its debut. When the pilot is set back more, it tends to be a racing plane. Inverted speed record holder. Ooh, that's something I don't want to be upside down in a plane. This is DGA-5 Ike, 1932. And they say it's an inverted speed record holder. What's this? And what's this big? Oh, this is still the B-24 up here. The other side of the B-24. Another cute yellow plane. This looks like a racer as well. Yeah, brown B-1 racer. Cockpit. A cockpit simulation, or maybe an actual cockpit from a more modern jet. I would get so sick in one of these.
A little closer. Can you get any closer? There you are. There you are. Good shot. Okay.
Gift shop. I remember buying my son's plane models here. I think I have a Fantasy of Flight hat somewhere. He's done a bunch of books for various characters that do flying. Austin the Ostrich. Puff. Kermit Weeks is the guy behind this. He started in aerobatics. And made a name for himself, and got some money from his family and started buying planes. That's him right there. Hello, Kermit. He's not a frog. And those are some of the books he's written. Constellation. There's a video on the internet about Kermit Weeks getting the plane and flying in here with a special permit from the FAA. I think it's still owned by the airline. Technically, I think they came and got some electronics and some other things from it, so it's probably never going to move. But a lot of airlines had this in the day. Nice to come by and see his collection of planes. This collection here is just a fraction of what he owns. A lot of them is kept over there in the other buildings. And they have restoration facilities over there, and he does restorations. And I have fond memories of this place the two times that I went to it when the whole thing was open. I paid $12. I think admission for adults is $15, and it's cheaper for kids. And it's worth a little trip, about 30 miles from Orlando. Probably about 45 miles from Tampa. The joke is that he calls this place Orlampa, because it's not really halfway, but this is Mark in Florida. Carnival Adventure Channel. Like, subscribe, comment on any place, suggest a place that I should go in Florida or in California, New England, anywhere else, and I'll try to see if it's worth a trip to go and do a video or two. I tend to do short trips through the year, and I do lots of filming. I was in California in 10 days in August, and I was in Orlando 5 days 3 weeks ago, and 4 days on this trip. I do have a full-time gig, and this YouTube channel is one of my side adventures, side quests, you might say. But thanks for watching. Thanks for watching, and if you have the time and like planes, come visit the Museum Lite at Kermit Week's Fantasy of Flight.